Are you able to hear me, sir? Whether my voice is...
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Students like ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Screen share பண்ணி ஒரு செக் பண்ணிடலாம் மேம். ஸ்க்ரீன் ஏதாவது ஷேர் பண்ணுங்க.
Sure, okay.
ஓகே.
Are you able to see my screen, sir? Are you seeing my PPT? What you are seeing, sir? What you are seeing currently? Are you seeing the PPT?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Whether it's clear now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Okay.
படிக்கலாமா இப்போ?
Hello. Can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. I'm able to hear you.
Yes, yes.
Whether it is audible to you all?
இதுல பண்ணிக்கலாமா? சார் இதுவே இருக்கட்டும் சார். எல்லாம் பண்ணிக்கலாம். சந்தியா மேம் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணுங்க வாங்க. ஆமாம் சார் கரெக்டாக போகணும்.
A warm good afternoon to everyone. I, Santhi from the Department of Computer Applications, take privilege to welcome our Secretary, MGE Developer Sir, our Principal, Dr. S. Murgesan, our Vice Principals, Dr. K.C. Lalitambika and Professor S. Kambi, heads, faculties and students of various departments to the webinar entitled Engaging Students in a Real-Time Project, organized by IQAC in association with Department of Computer Applications. I request Dr. S.B. Neenu, Associate Professor, Department of Computer Applications, to deliver a welcome address. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. It gives me a great pleasure to welcome you all in this webinar, engaging students in a real-time project organized by our Department of Computer Application. For this webinar, it's my honor to welcome our secretary and correspondent for this grand success of this webinar going to be made. Today's special invitee, our resource person, Dr.Santhi Durairaj, Senior Staff FICO Techno Functional Consultant, Cognizant, the Clorox Company, California. On behalf of our college, I extend a warm welcome to you, ma'am. It's my
Thank you.
privilege to welcome our principal, Dr. Murugesan, for this event, and pleasure to welcome our vice principals, various heads of department, and staff members towards this function. And finally, my dear students, to learn your knowledge and update, today is the day you can make this success and make this webinar as grand successful. Thank you and welcome, ma'am. Once again, welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. Shall I start?
Thank you, ma'am. Now I request Professor Somasundram sir, Head Department of Computer Applications, to introduce our resource person.
Good afternoon, and my personal welcome to all for this webinar on engaging students in a real-time project. And I am happy to introduce Dr. Santhi Durairaj, who is our resource person to this webinar. Dr. Santhi Durairaj has been working with the Clorox company, a retailer company in California, as a senior staff Techno consultant from March 20 under nature of job is implementation and enhancement. And she worked with the same company, Durairaj, for 6 months from August 19 with the nature of job being implementation. At the duration, before she worked with the same company, Nutronics for 8 months from November 18 with nature of job being design, the detailed level design document for Argentina hyperinflation project. And 2 weeks earlier, she worked with UNICEF New York from April 11 to February 13 with the role of SAP FICO lead consultant with the responsibilities to define, implement, test, and support in vision project. For her achievement, she led team produce business blueprint document for gathering specification, expertise work breakdown structure with many areas including invoice and payment process, fund management, and solve decision configuration. She worked with AES Corporation, Arlington, Virginia, and utility industry from August 8 to February 11. SAP Corporate and North America project with responsibilities to define and configure SAP FICO and support personnel to implement changes on time and analyze issues and provide fix. And early to it, she worked with Morrison Homes, Atlanta, Java, and construction and engineering company from March 7, July 8. For all these rich talent and efficiency, Goodness was postgraduated twice with MCA and MBA and doctorated with PhD degree, and she gained knowledge and experience for more than 10 years in India from being lecturer, in professor, and HOD for MCA students. It's really a feather in our cap to have Dr. Santhi Durairaj to be our resource person, and I wish this relationship would spiral now and ever. Truly, I am profoundly proud to introduce Dr. Santhi Durairaj, our resource person, and my congenial welcome to our wellness quiz webinar as a chief guest. I thank you, madam, for this opportunity. Ma'am,
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for welcoming and allowing me to share a few tips to be to engage a student, how he can engage into a real-time project. So I will start with an example. So as they told you, so IT companies work for different industries. So IT companies, when we work for different companies like retail industry, manufacturing industry, and non-profit companies, and PepsiCo manufacturing company, and the AES is utility company. That's the way in the US it works. So the energy generating company, one who is responsible for supplying electricity and gas and all those stuff. So I work for, that's why every developer, even for any student, when they get inside project, so they should know, so what is their business process. Even I was not into aware of that when I went to US. So I was thinking though similar way as we do in colleges, just we will write some program, that's it. But above all, we should understand the process, business, what they do. Based on that, the documents varies, the database varies, and their process flow varies, and the role and responsibility varies. Even though some 70% or 60% we do the same, but somewhere some 25%, every client is different, every process is different, every business is different. So I'm not expert in every area in IT. So I was trained in 2004 in SAP. Initially, I was a technical person. I was coding through the language. It is called ABAP. ABAP is the language as you write program, C program, Java program. Like that, it is a language to interact with SAP system. It includes ABAP objects. It has all the facilities, whatever the other languages are having, along with some business. It is a German product, you all must be knowing. And SAP is number one even now in the whole world in the ERP market. It handles installing and using this may bit costly. $1 million companies they use normally, but once they use this, there are plenty of facilities. Even Oracle has similar functionalities, but somewhere there where we cannot see the centralized activity of it. The business flow from the data flow from different departments, that is decentralized somewhere. But SAP integrates, so without any interaction, every data flows from every department, no duplicate items in each department, only the key connects key, and the we say that point of integration points, we say integration points. So setting up integration points, the data from material management flow to sales department, flow to finance, and human resource data flow to this finance. So I will tell you a simple example because it is a big business process behind the screen. I will take your textbook example and I will give an example from my live project. It may be useful, and I will tell you what are the jobs associated. It is not a big deal. Anybody can be doing real-time project only with constant focus and some you got to explore what the client is in need of it, currently what they need. That we have to constantly look into some site, dice.com, indeed.com. Those are the sites normally every people in America we used to see. Even globally they will visit that site. Through that we will know what are the developments going on globally in SAP, what they want from the candidates like me, consultants like ACTS or Cognizant, sorry, Infosys or IBM. They are like vendor working for the clients. Client, we say the companies in US. So through that site, if you go through anybody in any world in the world, you can know what exactly they want. Based on that, you can prepare and develop your skills now itself. Even into 6 months or 1 year or 2 years, it's not a matter, because when I was a lecturer and I went into IT development, I was not so fast like other people who are running ahead of me. So, but I took little more time and learned it. You can also follow the same thing. I'll give a small example how the business is going on and globally, and how we have to react. Now, not only the program, what we write, our program should be associated with the business. So suppose if somebody is asking to write a report, write a report. So for any report, to display a report, to display a invoice, to display a purchase order, you have some fields. You are seeing some fields normally: invoice number, the date, company name, sender address, billing address, what is the quantity, how much they ordered, what is the total, what is the discount. All these words, whatever you are seeing in the invoice, that should be from a database. So a developer have to write a query, select query or some other in the program. In the program, whatever you do, there will be a select query written to pick up the data from the database, and you will display all these things in the respective form or in the row column form. That is the way every functionality is there in every different developments. So, but in SAP, if you consider, the database is huge, because when we I will explain this process, because whatever I know, I'm giving an example from that. So the suppose sanitizer, and we are in COVID time, tough time. So the keep on asking for sanitizers. So some companies manufacturing that sanitizers, and some customers are asking the company, in Clorox, the company where I work, there where I am working currently. I took a small break, 2 months breaks, because I had to go back sooner. So this Clorox, they produce a lot of sanitizers, disinfecting wipes, all the diapers and all those disinfecting wipe, anything, the wipe, whatever you use, you may be understanding what I'm saying now. So we use every day in America. Maybe you may be using due to COVID, but normally we have those things in our house. Everybody will have. Anybody unknown person comes, or when we enter into a house where the small babies are there, we used to put sanitizers. So this company is more one, their clients, customers are asking for a sanitizer, huge amount. So they are inquiring, they are giving that to sales department. Sales department immediately they will check for the inventory, whether stock is there. If the stock is there, not there, there will be a workflow triggered automatically. When there is a point, it is not there, then it will be triggered, and it is informed to the production department. Production department, they will check for the raw material to produce the product. If there is no raw material, immediately the respective vendors, it is not from a single vendor, they can bring the raw material to produce that sanitizer. So immediately these are automatic process. So automatically the purchase order will be sent to the n number of customers, maybe 10 or n. So the customers will be receiving the purchase order. They will ship all the raw materials. Once it is available, production department will take care of the producing the product. There are so many configurations behind the screen, but when the product is ready, sales department will know, let them know that the product is ready. Then they will send it to the customers. Once they receive from the customer, the money is going to be accounts receivables. So it is going to be an income revenue to the company. So there comes my role. So that will be a revenue. I am in finance and controlling module. SAP has more than 25 modules, and I am working in the finance department, finance module, we say. So the finance department will collect the revenue. It will come to the system automatically, because we are setting up the integration point between sales department, sales and distribution department, SD department, and to us. And also we will be setting up the data flow from material management department. Material manager, whatever the raw material they are buying, it is going to be a expense. It will be like coming like inside my system, like accounts payable. And the sales department, whatever the figures are coming, the numbers are coming, that's going to be revenue. So end of the day, we will be generating. Not we have so many standard reports, custom reports. We'll run the reports, no. So how much is the sale, how much is the expense, what is the profit, in the simple way I'm saying. So this is a process. The entire thing will be handled in SAP. If it is not SAP, so somewhere if the raw material is not available, so there will be a disconnectivity between that. And also duplication of the data will be there in each department. So that will not be the case in SAP. That's why it is super duper in the whole world in a ERP. It handles everything in a very nice way. Once a company they use it, they will not go back to any other product. That way SAP is standing. So here, the small example I told you. Now I'm coming to your example in the your textbook. This is your example in the textbook. SDLC process. So I'm taking the same thing, going to connect with my example now. So the project kickoff initiation. So project kickoff, I'll take a small example. Suppose you have a website because you may be familiar with UI development, website development, mobile app development. So already the website is there, bank website, you remember. In the bank website, they want to add additionally something like dashboards. They want to display to the customers what is their growth, what are the facilities they are giving, where they were in 2019, where they are in 2020, where they will be in 2021. So they want to put the chart like that, for example. So that is going to be a small project. It is not a new project, even it is going to be a enhancement project, enhancing the existing project. So the kickoff of every project. Here the project manager will be there. Project manager, you need not be a big development skills. So anybody, the student, those who are coming after completion of BE, those who are coming for MS to US, they are taking up some training, project manager training with the documentation skill. If they are very good in Word and Excel not in the way what we are using currently. Excel you should be well versed in macro codings, VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, filters, all type of macro codings and designs. Even the Excel will generate some reports. So that way they will be well versed in Word and Excel, and also diagrams, flowcharts, those who know those things, and those who can clearly talk in the meeting. So that much is enough. They will learn within 2 months, 2 to 3 months when they are coming there. So they will be the project manager. So anybody can be a project manager if they have this skill. And a business analyst will be there in this stage. Business analyst is also a person who is going to document what we are going to do in the project. Once it is completed, once they are planning, this is what we are going to do. He or she is the person going to document, and he also should be good in communicating and good in documentation, mainly Word and Excel. There is a tool called Visio. Through that, they will do all the diagrams, flow chart, everything from where it should flow, where it should come, where it should end. Like that, the process goes. So the kickoff meeting, project manager from CTS or IBM who were involved, the vendor will be there, client, one who is giving the project sponsoring, they will be there, business analyst will be there, solution designer will be there. So I told you where you can engage. Here, our coming to the title. Here you can be a business analyst, you can be a project manager, less knowledge needed like programming. But everywhere nowadays in the projects, documentation is default, you should know, and SQL queries, any type of select queries, everybody should know. There are BI tools, business intelligence reporting tools. Just drag and drop tools are there, Tableau reporting, then Cognos reporting, Oracle OBI reporting, SAP Business Object. Doesn't require more development like Java or Python or any tough coding. But even then, the select queries are very important. Once the data is not correct, you can even go and check the select queries. In the behind the screen, it will be writing it. You can check for that. So this is the first stage. Second stage, requirement gathering. Purely the business analyst will be involved in this. So what he or she will do, they will put the query to the client. They will have meeting often, and we all will be there in the meetings, and they will be sending queries. They will be asking open discussion meetings. So they will get all the clarity, because once after we always say one statement, always they will say, if the business analyst is not documenting properly, then instead of making a car, they will make a wheel. That's what the funny thing they will say. That way, the business analysts have to think, and they have to discuss with us and all the technical teams, and they have to say what are the questions I can ask them, whether it is possible with the existing setup, the hardware and software, whether they have to get something new, whether they have whether this point is enough, whether only the flow chart is enough, whether the website wants only the dashboards, whether the website wants only some graph, whether they want some additions, whether they want some color, what is the graphical representation, where they want to see something related to the project, they must know. They have to discuss with all of us, and with the client, get every information, document it. That's what called requirement gathering. Once it is gathered, analysis, all the technical leads will be there. So analyzing what is the resource, whether the analysis software analysis which they are going to use somewhere, whether they want third party tool, whether they want to keep the on site people, whether they want to have the money matters comes, the finance budget comes, whether they want to use it the offshore, because the rate varies for on site and offshore, whether they want to have offshore in India, offshore in Argentina, offshore in China. So they will analyze in the initially in the kickoff itself, they will analyze the budget. But here, double analyzing the system side mainly, and this also the CTS will think of it, because if the client is asking very urgent within a month, because the 2021 they want to show it within a month, it's a 1 month project, so they cannot ask the offshore to coordinate. This will be on and off, day and night. So if I say something in the night time, they will do it in the daytime, they deliver it in the next day. It may delay the process. So the client may interested to spend more money, keep all the on-site people in US, and they will finish it. All those matters, mainly system analysis, setup, how it's going to be. Once the analysis is done, to do the requirement, to reach the goal, how they want to do it, the analysis is done. The design part, here comes my work, not only my work, as I told you in the example, sales department is involved, production department is involved, material management department is involved. Material management department brings the raw material and record it in the system, and sales department brings the customer data and records in the system. Recording means putting in the respective path so that it will be stored in the database behind the screen. And human resource department always involved. Who are all the people? We are all the human resource consultant. How much they pay for me, how much they pay for the solution designer, testing lead, business analyst, all those things will be configured, that will be stored in the respective database table. Designing means we are going to document and also configure the system. We are going to say the pictorial representation of the requirement. This is the way we are going to achieve. That is, indirectly we are saying the solution designer will give HLD, high level design document. We will be giving detail level design document. We are going to say how I am going to configure the system in order to achieve that requirement. What are the changes I'm going to make in the current system? What are the additional configuration I'm going to do? That is what called design for this project, for this example. All of us will be doing independently. Finally, we will check the integration points. So account number, whatever the account number is the key, that will be there in the material management data and also in sales management data. The human resource department, they will have personal ID that will be connected with us. So that is the way the data flows through that key ID. So we are designing the system in order to achieve the goal. Finally, the development comes. When I went to US, I thought all will be developer. No, not that case. You can be a designer, you can be a functional, but I went like a developer and become a designer. That is good. Always we should be a developer. We should be technically strong, then can be a designer, and that will be good. But developer is a more wanted person because somebody has documented. Client is saying this is what I want. Business analyst is saying this is the way we are going to achieve. Then we are saying how we are going to configure the system in order to bring the result. All these people involved. Now the developer have to understand. That's why I'm saying just knowing Java, just knowing Python will not alone help you. It is a big deal to write. You are super smart in writing Python and Java. I know. I'm not good in those things. Uh, Only I know ABAP language. But you should understand in which module, which company, retail company or manufacturing, every company will not have similar data. So you have to understand the business what they exactly they want. So for example, you have to take material data somewhere from 2 tables, sales data some 3 tables, finance data some 5 tables, human resource some 3 tables. So you have to combine all of them and generate a report and display in row column. The simple way I'm saying. So the developer should understand the entire database, how it is stored, what are the data available. And it is a German product. So the tables will not be in meaningful words. Material management, the master data table MARA, MARA. So it is meaningless. But in an Oracle or anywhere, it will be meaningful words will be there. The table name will be meaningful. You can easily make it. You can locate it. This is a table belongs to material data. But in SAP, we have to by God. I struggled initially to by God each table, at least some two, at least some 50 to 100 initially. So we got to remember. So all are different words, just like. So the developer have to understand the business and what exactly he has to develop without wasting time. He have to locate. He have to spend more time analyzing understanding the requirement. Everybody have to understand the requirement written by business analyst. Then understand little bit about the design, how we are going to achieve. Then he can start the development. But even though he is a key person, he should understand the business. Once the development is done, so you all can be a developer. Those who are very good in development, those who are very good in programming, you can be the central part of this key part. But little knowledge about the people working along with you, the knowledge about the business and knowledge about finance, knowledge about sales and the processes and all those things, little knowledge. In the interview also they may ask. So then if it is done, once the development is done, it is a development system. We call it a sandbox, a development system. That system is totally different. Here you can type, you can delete, you can test anyway, because all the data here are sample data. So you can play with that and finally bring the result. Once the developer is saying, I have done this, then the designer, if it is a finance project, I will take it and test it. Somebody from Chennai, offshore is developing, I'll be testing it. And I will check whether as I designed it is coming, the result is coming. Or the salesperson, he will test as he designed, as he configured, it is given, the result is coming. It may show the result, the numbers, somewhere the calculation, 20% discount. If the customer is paying yearly, 20% discount. If the customer is late, some penalty, something like, for example, that calculation may be missing, the developer. So all these testing, n number of testing, I'm telling you in a simple way, but you will learn it. Don't be afraid. So development is done. Then we will be moving to quality system. Quality system, nobody can, they can view it just only in display. So they can run several items. Suppose it is a website. For example, I'll give a simple example. You are giving the username and password in the bank website. So it should not allow blank username, blank password. It should not allow whatever they have given the wrong passwords. It should not allow with this without special characters. It should not allow whatever the way they designed special character, capital letter, something it is giving, you must be knowing. So the all the ways, the negative and positive testing, they will test it and they will document it. And then this part, client also will be seeing the result. We will be also seeing the result. Test lead also will be seeing the result. If anything is wrong, it will be returned back to the developer or to us. Then we'll request the developer to develop it again, send it back for testing. This is a critical, this is a main part. Once the development is done, it is not over. Testing back and forth, and we are giving the knowledge transfer to the tester. We will be sending PPT to them. We will be sending the document to them. We will be having a fine morning. We'll have a knowledge transfer session. We will explain this is what we developed. This is the way we tested. Our perception may vary. When the other people are testing, they will test positive and negative sides. So once testing is done, client means the person, the company, one who wants a product, they will also come here and they may forget initially. This point is a critical. Client will say, oh, I don't want this. I don't want this column at all. This is what more confusing. I told in the meeting, and they will the business analyst, everybody will go back, no, we did not tell those. Sometime here also the mistake comes. The requirement gathering person may document it wrongly with a less column. They may ask 5 columns, they may given 3 columns, they may ask one additional column, something like. So the testing part is will be crucial, because after that client is going to use it. Then what we'll do, once everything is done 100%, everybody will, program manager, project manager, all will be there. Quality testing, this is quality testing. Then we will do what we test developer is unit testing, this is quality testing. Then we will deploy the product. Before deploying, we designers, all of us, we will be given in the production system 48 hours. 48 hours, whatever we do, that will be recorded. And we will be requesting what exact we are going to do. We have to document and give it to them. If I am going to click on only one tab, contact tab, suppose I have to click only on that. If I am going to click on about us for any website, I have to click only on that. So if I do anything extra, the company where I am working will be in trouble, because it is a production system. Suppose it's a banking I'm working, I should not view anything apart from that. Normally they will not give access. Normally nobody will give access. I will be requesting, I want these 3 screens to view, and they will be giving only that. Inside, if there is any additional subdivision, even I should not click it. And we will be making the, because already it is in live, the people are using the bank website, I am enhancing it, I am additionally doing something. So I have to make the system ready without affecting the existing functionalities. That is what we are going to do. The additional configurations, additional setup we'll do, so that they can view the additional changes whatever we have done the site. Website we are not doing, but for example, I'm selling all these things and make it to understand. Once it is deployed, once we test it again in display, and if we feel everything whatever we tested in the 2 systems is the same, then we will give it to the, we will do the knowledge transfer finally second time to the offshore people. If India is offshore, team is there in India or Argentina or China, we will give the knowledge transfer, we'll give the document, we'll give the PPT, and we'll list them. What are the errors we committed, we faced, what are the errors we can expect, what should not be done, what have to be done. We will explain to them, and they will maintain the maintenance support team. They call it a support team. The support team group will take care of this project for 6 months or 1 month or a year, depends on the complexity of the project, until the client, one who is going to use it, becomes very familiar without making. Suppose the client is having every day he have to create purchase order, invoice, 100. So he should be some, we are inserting some day, some fields new. So they should be familiar without forgetting. So they should be behind that. This is a scenario. So I told you initially the kickoff, project manager, business analyst, you can be working on this. Requirement gathering, you can be a business analyst, good communication, not in American accent. So I have friends in all the countries. I have Chinese, Mexicans, Africans, Americans. The concept should be clearly stated. Anybody can understand. Slowly we will speak. When you are new to other country people, slowly you speak, anybody can understand. And what we are going to speak, then we have to, before that, we should have clear cut idea. This is what I'm going to convey. Then anybody can understand. The accent is not a matter. That's what I want to say again, because you are not seeing me that I'm speaking an American accent, even though I am here. Yeah, in the US for 15 years. So even though my kids speak exact like Americans, but only the communication, what you want to convey it properly and document clearly, document it. And this here you can be, any student can be a business analyst. And the analysis part you cannot be. Design part you can be after development. Initially be a developer, then you can be a designer. That will be permanent, that will be long standing. But many people directly going to the designing, somewhere technically they will struggle. They'll come back to the developer often and asking questions, then that will delay the process. Then testing, anybody can be a tester. Any student, any CSC student can be a tester. QA tester, QA analyst, quality tester. So you can test in dice.com, indeed.com. Selenium is very latest. Cucumber, IBM Rational Tools. You can learn any one of the automation tools. They are automation tools. Manual testing, just in Excel sheet, you will be writing. Suppose they are testing a website. They will say, first column they will write what they testing the user login ID, testing the user ID. So user input should be a numeric or alphanumeric or with a special character. What they entered, what is the expected result, what is the actual result. Then screenshot along with that. This is a manual testing data you have to give. But the same thing may not be applicable for everywhere. So you will be doing automation. But earlier, WinRunner, QTP, Load Runner, they are outdated now. Quality Center is there still now. But I know people working around me, so that's why I am familiar with. Selenium is too good. But with every company nowadays, when I went, testing was least important. Now testing is very important. So, like developer, testing is more needed. Maybe one development is this one, n number of development in different technologies will be going on. Tester will be engaged in everywhere. So, anybody want without programming skills, you can be a tester very well. And here comes system engineer, network engineers, admins, all of them are involved. So this is what the job you can engage. That's what I told you with the small examples, whatever from our textbook. So I explained clearly here what is a kickoff meeting, clients and the project teams, vendor team, they are discussing, they are deciding on what is the estimated cost, what is the effort, what is the risk, when they are updating, whether existing setup is going to be spoiled, whether anything impact on the existing one, and what is the benefit, what is the scope, and who are all involved, the client, project manager, solution designer, business analyst, and if you are free, we are also will be involved. And the requirement gathering, I told you, this is what the people, you can be a business analyst. I mentioned here, you can have communicative skill, little knowledge about business. You will know once you get inside the project, you will know. But before going, you can Google it. If you are working in finance or sales or any department, you can just go through their business process. When they talk, you should be able to understand. And software, hardware, tools what they are using you should be familiar with, and documentation is called very important. Then after this requirement gathering, whatever I told from the software life cycle I have given here. Then analysis. Analysis we are going to analyze. Here also cost, time, resource, system, everything we have to analyze. Cost effective, time effective. Even that is a way, even sometime here in my company, Charlada Publication is my company. You ask my employees. Sometime if there is a delay, I will be like typically my mind is like a project development end to end. I worked. I'm like a subject matter expert for finance and controlling. I used to think, oh, where is the time is delaying, where the cost is more, where the arts college book is title. This is going slow and the cost is less. Engineering is going more. This mind is programmed in such a way. Every work, my mind is calculating cost and time, resource. This resource is good. So this is even you will be calculating. So if you do some work, you will be definitely calculating. If you cook something, if your mom cooks, she will be thinking this. So we are so hungry. So this will be the fast food we can finish in 10 minutes. That is also cost and time effective. Everywhere this calculation should be there. And also you student also calculate. 3 years you studied and you have to win. So what is your role? You can analyze yourself. Your friends may say that developer is good. It is good, but there are some risk. And QA testing, I told you, anybody can be a QA tester, business analyst, project manager. So develop those skills. So I studied in a Tamil medium school, in a corporation school, in a rural area, in a village. And I worked like a HOD of MCA in Chennai, and I worked in UNICEF, New York, in currently in California. So it's not a big deal. So focus, and effort. That's what I want to say to encourage you. And another one is development. Here I told you, anybody can be a developer. Developer is the key for any project. Developer, you may think that the people in the IT industry are kicked off, they will lose the job. That is not the case. Even every night I am getting call from my client, come back, take up this project. My companies are forcing me. I took a small break, 4 months, but even then they are every night they are not letting me to sleep. It is all in our hand. So you select now itself what you want to be. That is more important. Because your friend is selected, you should not do that. Later on, if you become a manager in IT, just you will be working in Excel and Word. If cost cutting comes, the managers will be sent out. So development is, if you are technically good, always you are welcome. Always you are welcome. So though you select in such a way, testing, any always welcome. So the Java, Python, Big Data, Hadoop. If you learn Python in Tidal Park, I know a friend of mine is a vice president. He told me you can send students, no problem, but they should be good in Java and Python. But along with Hadoop and Big Data, Scala, those things, the knowledge of it, they need. They will be giving a test. You have to write the test like anybody else. In Java and Python, you write the code. They will give a program, or in between, you may include your code to make it run. But once it is done, the other part, second round, we can take you up. Even I tied up with some companies, vendors in Bangalore and Chennai after I come here. And we are also sending requirements. The problem is for IT people, definitely you have to clear the interview. For BE, mechanical, civil, and EC, triple E, once we filter and send them, they are taking it because their job is different. So they want just the people's confidence level with some marks. That's it, they were asking. For this development, IT, so you should have passion and learn it. And this is what these are all S base and HFM are related to SAP, and you can be in Oracle and this one BA tools. Even I train myself, even it is not my field, Cognos. Tableau reporting is peak in the market. You can learn it within maximum. Even if you don't know anything to write, you can learn it within 6 months. Entire Tableau reporting. You can learn it. There are YouTube videos, there are documents. Initially, learn and go to the center and learn. You should not go with empty handed to learn. So you learn something, you have some document, you see YouTube video, what is Tableau reporting, where they are using, why they need it, like that you analyze. Here also no need to know much coding. All these tools, very simple tools, anybody can learn. Because I am already into the field SAP, I learned it within a month, this SAP business object. But you may need 6 months. It's okay, but the Tableau is more needed. Cognos IBM product, that's needed. This SAP project, this is Oracle product. All are in big market. So you can do that. And QA testing, as I said, anybody, I can say anybody, everybody in the classroom can be a QA tester. I will show with some samples, but not real data. I can show you with a Excel sheet. The Selenium, Cucumber, IBM Rational tools. So these things you can learn it. Each one takes 1 month. Even I came to know a friend of mine, her daughter is joined herself in a company in Anna Nagar. They are asking Selenium. Selenium testers, I can introduce you. I know the real developer in the field. So you can, if you want, I can connect you. You can take a small training and you can jump into the market. So here also communication skill, documentation, understanding the business requirement document. We call it as PRD. Everybody should understand the business requirement document. This is what they want. This is the way I have to test. So if you understand, the testing is simple. So everybody can be in this area. You can engage here. The deployment, this and all, you need experience. Deployment and testing lead will be there. You will not be there. And these are all simple something about maintenance. As I told you, we will deliver knowledge transfer to the supporting team. They will be coordinating with the client, the company for whom we have developed, and helping them, assisting them until they are comfortable with the system to do the work to get the result. That is the meaning. Then examples, as I told you from SAP, why we need SAP. And these are the things I have given. And this is the module, basic module. There are more than 25 modules. Basic modules I have given here. Anybody, even the petty shop, if you take, the petty shop man buys some raw materials and he's making something, packing it and selling it. So he needs sales department, customers, and he needs some human resource to do the work. Finally, for material management, where he bought items, he have to pay for that. Sales and department, he is selling and getting money, so he is getting income. Then finally, this income statement with these two, we will be making income document. So I put it as I am a FICO consultant. FI stands for finance, for external reporting to the government. What is my finance? How much I pay tax? What is the tax I am paying? But in India, there is one tax, GST, you will be paying. In US, there are 66,000 type of tax calculation because the city wherever you live. I pay 38% tax in California, 30% around in New York City. And if I lived in sometime in Florida there is no state tax at all. Depends on the state you live. Apart from that, depends on the county we live. Collection of cities will be county. There are so many different calculations. So definitely they have to go for SAP. SAP is also using some third-party tools, Vertex and Taxware. So through that, they will give the zip code. Just giving the zip code, system will calculate and tell them what is the tax they have to pay. So FI stands for external reporting. Controlling is for management reporting to analyze their status, the income status. The client will get some reports through the system. That is, controlling is a big module actually. Finance is a big module. If you do both, if you are good in finance and accounting, you can be a finance and controlling person. Human resource, so managing all of them, payroll, all are included. So any question, please. I don't know whatever I know, whatever I worked, I explained through that. Maybe boring, I don't know. Ask me the questions.
Students, any questions? Students, any questions? Put it in the chat box, ma. Okay, no questions. I think so. Yes. Vote of thanks. Want to vote of thanks? Okay, ma'am. Excellent speech, ma'am. More informative.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. I request Dr. Professor G. Ahmed Professor to deliver order.
Good afternoon. Doing projects brings you thoughts and ability. Greer ups your buoyancy, teaches to outcome your hurdles, and make your hardy to win laurels. At this occasion, I am pleased to thank our Honorable Secretary and Correspondent through MGE Sellapalam for the grant of this webinar. I thank our beloved principal for the lead in the grant of this program. I acknowledge my appreciation and thanks to our resource person and today's chief guest, Dr. Santhi Durairaj, for her courtesy and effort shown towards the students by her presence and presentation. I will to say my gratitude to our Vice Principal, Dr. K.C. Lalitambika and Professor S. Asekambi for their guide and wishes for the program to be kind and useful. And I count with gratitude every effort, whole or big, tiny or small, and render my thanks of appreciation to every presenter, supporter, and participant for making this webinar successful. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Is it done, sir?